Well, I was going to have Mr. Putin the cat in my video in the beginning and hold him up, but he's up there on his meow meow shelf up near the ceiling. He's yawning, so I figure I'll leave him alone. Right, buddy? You go to sleep, okay? Well, I want to put out this video because I'm going to tell you that Bill O'Reilly is a total libtard to the max. I just saw something on major media that, the right wing came around. What are you talking about, the right wing? And you know what? That ain't right wing. That's the tax revolt of 1861, Mississippi style. If you don't believe in the tax revolt of 1861, you don't believe in the tax revolt of 1776. You know? The hell, man. I don't like playing any games with this bullshit. Well, first off, with Bill O'Reilly, man, he's Fox is a pile of BS, man. Fox News, I see all these, I kind of hang around. More of my people that I'm friends with, they're more like conservative. But I probably aggravate them a little bit because I realize conservatives are full of it a lot of times. I'm more like, man, I'm not that conservative or liberal either way. I'm not stupid, though. That's the thing. I realize what's going on. There's a game. There's an agenda. Yeah, they want to take the weapons away from people. Right, I know that. That's quite obvious. Like when I talked about, what's this guy's name? Wackenhut, the guy that was the founder for that G4S, this Omar Mateen, worked for 8 years. And, yeah, well, you know what, that Wackenhut also had, let me just get on with that first, because, the whole thing, I said this before a couple times, it does smell like, oh, man. And actually, if you really don't want to believe me, go look at former FBI, the former head of the FBI in Los Angeles. He had 700 agents under him, Ted Gunderson, and he'll tell you about a lot of stuff that's going on, too. I mean, I knew this stuff for a long period of time before the internet was around, okay? Now, I don't know about this operation being with all these crisis actors and stuff, man. I'm like, there was people killed, but obviously, I can tell you right now, I'm not sure about this guy, though, but, like in the case of some of these kids that are not experienced with weapons, they can't knock out that many people that fast. And I know they're bringing out a lot of stuff. I think there was more than one shooter, but the thing is, I can tell you that this Wackenhut company, or, it was originally formed by the George Wackenhut, I think his name was. Wackenhut. What a freaking name, right? They had Clarence Kelly was one of the executive directors. Clarence Kelly, former FBI. He also had Bobby Inman from NSA. And he also had Frank Carlucci from the CIA in there. And they also got busted for, like, when they're guarding the jails in Texas, they got busted for their guards raping females. Yeah, nice freaking outfit, right? And also they got busted for doing something to a whistleblower that was, what the hell he did? Whistleblower that was going against the oil companies, so they were for the oil companies. Also, that company's been involved in providing security against employees, for the company because employees are striking for better wages or whatever the hell it is. What a freaking evil racket, man. Oh, yeah, those are the people that should have guns, not the people, right? Oh, yeah. Bill O'Reilly suck. He's not a libtard, actually. He knows what he's fully well doing. He supposedly represents the right wing. There's no right wing or left wing. It's BS, man. I mean, to me, I don't really like agree with the behavior of the gay and lesbian bisexual community, but you can do what the hell you want. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Actually, as a matter of fact, if somebody goes shooting on the range or something like that and they're making noise, say for instance it's like they're shooting on the range at I don't know, freaking 7 o'clock in the morning and I'm trying to sleep, I would probably tell the guy, well, could you start doing that shit later? I mean, I'm not going to freak out about that, just like loud pipes on motorcycles, The people that are freaking trying to take away our freedoms are evil as shit. And when we have just the people that are in, well, you see what happens. Like even in the correctional facilities in most of the states, practically everywhere across the whole country, you'll see sometimes the people that are guarding, that are guarding the inmates are more corrupt and worse than the people that are in there. They bring in drugs. They're bringing in the drugs. They're committing crimes, sex crimes against people. They're beating the hell out of people just for the hell of it sometimes. I mean, it's not like that all the time, and it's not like that where the correctional facility guards are worse than the people and the inmates all the time, but it's going on left and right. It always comes down to who watches the watchers. But most of these incidents over the last several years are freaking complete setups, man, to the max, man. I seen other things about. Well, you know what got me? I saw the mother of one of the kids. She was like, "Oh yeah, my son died." And I was like, "Whoa, lady, what are you, crazy?" It reminds me of some of the other people that it happened in Sandy Hook, the Charleston, South Carolina shooting, and everything else. And YouTube, I'm just making an observation here. It's a freaking, it just doesn't add up. It's like if your closest people, your son or your daughter died in a shooting incident, you're not going to be all smiles. I mean, I've seen all smiles in Sandy Hook. I've seen, from these people that supposedly their closest relative in the world just died 24 hours before. All smiles at Charleston, South Carolina. The relatives saying that, "Oh, we forgive him." I want to forgive him for nothing. Why is that? Why is that? Isn't that common sense, YouTube? Really? That something's not right here? That these people are not just that forgiving? Nobody's like that. Crap. You know what? When you usually what happens is you want vengeance, for crying out loud. I mean, usually you want, it's like, if somebody did that to somebody in my family, I was saying, they should take that asshole whoever did that. I mean, not only should he be killed, they ought to be freaking giving him the American Indian Kiowa torture, for crying out loud. I wouldn't be like all smiles. I don't know what the hell's the matter. That's why I don't think it's just, there's something fishy going on here big time. And Bill O'Reilly, he's a pile of crap. He's been a pile of crap. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a Trump tard, on my channel, I didn't trust this guy for nothing. From day one. And I'm like, what are you going to do, man? You're going to do have Hildebeest. I couldn't stand Ted Cruz. I mean, I don't like any of them. It's process of elimination. I don't even know about him, man. I don't even know. Maybe he is legit. He's not going to be perfect. But, I don't think this guy's going to save the freaking planet, but what are you going to do, right? I'm just saying that because actually I put out many videos in the beginning. I didn't trust this guy from day one, and I'm just like that. I don't really necessarily just blatantly get behind somebody and like they're going to save the world for me. The way I figure the world's going to be saved for me is I got to save it for me. That's the way I look at it. See, this is why I believe in weapons, because if somebody's coming after my ass, I want to be able to defend myself. Now, as far as these libtards and I'm listening to this one bimbo out there about, the statistics on the gun violence. And I'm thinking, you know what, lady? If somebody's raping you, I'm going to say, screw it. Good. You should have bought a gun. That's what I'll tell her. Hey, lady, you should have bought a gun. He could have shot him. But you know what? You're right. I'm wrong. So I ain't going to help you. You went off the cliff, lemming. Is that being tough love? Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man, because I'm getting kind of fed up with these idiots, and it's like you got the shrewd people manipulating the idiots. Now, obviously, Bill O'Reilly's never been what you call, I don't even know what a conservative is, because I wouldn't fit the freaking category. I can tell you that right now. Because I'm kind of like, not necessarily no rules, but it's like, there's a lot of rules I think are bullshit all the way. So I wouldn't really fit I definitely wouldn't fit real religious. Because I can tell you one thing, I think all religions are freaking BS. It's kind of like common sense, maybe. I don't know. But obviously, what comes down in nature, we the people have the right to defend ourselves. It's an innate right. And, these people doing these type of things, for the most part, they're 110% set up.
we don't have access to what do you call it, bazookas and tanks and stuff like Bill O'Reilly's saying. We don't have access to that. I'm gonna go drive a tank down the road. I couldn't even afford the gas. What does that do? Like use umpteen gallons per mile or something like that? I couldn't even afford the gas. Even the rounds. Can you imagine what the rounds on a tank would be? I mean, how much it would cost for the projectiles to fire? So, like, you know, they're making these specious arguments about things, and, you know, the liberals are saying, oh, it's time that the conservatives came around. They're putting this in the major media, right? So I'm putting it out in the little media, which is me. I'm telling you the truth, what's going on. And, yeah, we got to fight for our freedoms right here, man. This is like, the hell with the bullshit. You know, I go beyond what the tax revolt of 1861. I like this flag now because it's like, the hell with all this crap. You know, we don't need any of this BS, man. We don't need it. I mean, I personally think, you know, if I want to ride down the road with the motorcycle and my gun on the side, I think I should be able to do that, man. What the hell? We probably could over here in Florida. I don't know. What the hell? I have to ask Rick Scott. But you know what? Personally, right now, I think that the stuff in D.C. is getting so screwed up that the real solution, I think, for America is to kind of go back to the Confederate concept. Not the slave concept, the Confederate concept. The Confederate concept being whereby, you know, Indian territory, which later became Oklahoma, would still be all Indian territory for the, you know, for the American Native Indians. It wouldn't have got taken over by the white man's land rush that was given to the white man by Washington, D.C. I think we ought to just go back to, like, the Confederate concept whereby each state can do their own thing. So if you don't like the state, we're still in the United States, you can go somewhere else. You know, say Florida's getting a bunch of Yankees down here. Like, I'm a Yankee, but I tell you what, I am Southern lineage all the way, right? And also, I'm fed up with all the bullshit that goes on up in the Northeast. I have been for a million years. That's why I'm down here, because I'm like, ugh. I got more respect for South than the North, generally speaking. But as far as, you know, she needs to go back to, like, states' rights, because really the garbage is all coming out of D.C. The state needs to exercise its sovereignty, you know? And, you know, whether it's South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, even Virginia, just away from the D.C. part, and even Maryland maybe, right? But, and oh yeah, let's leave some of those Yankee states in there, because some of them Yankee states are okay, like Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. And, of course, North and South Dakota, and they ought to give a lot of that land back to the Lakota, too. I'm going to tell you that right now while I'm at it. So, I mean, we need to get away from, let's skip this libtard conservative BS, and let's just be righteous for civil rights all the way for the people. And when you're righteous for the civil rights or for the people, you believe in gun ownership. And, you know, I can tell you right now, the Gun Control Act of 1968 and the Still Gun Law in New Jersey in 1966 was in direct response to the civil rights movement. They wanted to do, you know, not have blacks not have as many weapons. That's what they did. Now they're doing it with everybody, you know, just about everybody, right? We're all on the reservation now, per se. So anyway, I just want to, and I'm going to tell you this, in future videos, I'm thinking about, I actually got all these plans on these weapons and dimensions and shit like that. I'm probably going to get, I'm not familiar with machining too much, but thinking about getting a mini mill and a mini lathe, or maybe a bigger lathe. And we're going to start machining up some gun parts and stuff. Because I can tell you right now, anybody with a CNC machine could just make a gun like that. It's a joke, man. So, I mean, the only thing they're going to stop people from having is, you know, the idiots that obey every law there is, right? It's going to be very easy to make a gun. Now, it's legal for you to make a gun anyway, if it's legal for you to have a gun in the state, wherever you live, right? So it's legal to do that. So I'm not suggesting something illegal, but I'm probably going to order this shit pretty soon. I got to look at what the hell I want to get. But I got the plans. I was looking at them. You know, you can make a frame for it. You know, make the whole thing from scratch. Not just the AR-15 and 1911. I don't know, some 6-shooters and stuff like that. I'd love to do a lot of videos on that, but it's going to be a learning curve for my ass to figure that stuff out. But I'll probably figure it out because I'm intelligent, man. I've got, you know, my ass fab in the Marine Corps was 135 when I went in. They said, holy shit, you almost aced the test. And I went enlisted because, don't call me sir, I work for a living, you know. And I got a lot of education. When I talk working classes, oh hell, I got education up the yin yang, man. And I study all the time and I'm active. And oh, by the way, if my face looks a little red, that's because I took niacin, the flush type, before I took this video, along with vitamin C, because, you know, I'm not about hurting people or death. I'm all about health. I want people to live a long time. I want people to be happy. And people that are trying to hurt you or something like that, I want you to be well armed against it. And considering that they're contriving a lot of these incidents to disarm people, that's telling me they got genocide planned in the future, like Mao Zedong did. Right? They do have that planned. I know, YouTube are going to get mad at me and say, you can't say that, but I'm really telling you the truth, man. I'm really telling you the truth. I'm not telling you in like a drama way or nothing like that. And, you know, use some common sense. Bill O'Reilly's, well, I call him a libtard, but actually he's not stupid. He's a fake pseudo, appointed by the freaking money powers of false conservative, whatever you want to call them. It's like the gatekeeper thing, you know. I want to put a lot of videos out, but these damn videos take a long time to process at 1080 per inch. 1080 dots per inch, and we're going to get you some more videos here pretty soon with cars and stuff, because I don't want to talk about this politics shit too much. We're going to have some car stuff coming up here too with you know, cars and classic cars, because I don't like getting too serious on this shit, but I want people freaking understanding what's going on. And I'm getting aggravated at some of these, well, it depends on who the woman is, because some of these women are like, you gotta stop these guns. What are you talking about, lady? How about the freaking Wackenhut Corporation when they're guarding the female inmates, they were raping them? Now, if the female inmates had a gun, they could have shot their freaking correctional facility overlords so they wouldn't have got raped. I know you can't do that. But, you know, you know the concept is there, right? That's why you have it, right? Actually, women should have guns. You know, if they're all freaking worried about guys raping them and stuff like that, why don't they have guns like crazy, right? Like loads of them. And yeah, why not an AR-15? Sure, because you know why? Because they're easier to shoot, because they got that buffer spring that goes wing. Actually, when you're shooting a pistol caliber 38 special lever action, that's got more recoil than an AR-15, because the AR-15's got that buffer with the spring in it. It goes wing. There's hardly any recoil. A woman can shoot that a lot easier. A lot of people don't know that because they don't know anything about guns, right? But the thing is, these incidents are being contrived, and the fake gatekeeper pseudo-conservatives like LIBTARD Bill O'Reilly are coming out with a bunch of bullshit, like he's the extreme right and he's moving all the way to the left. Get the hell out of here, man. You know, I ain't compromising on shit. And you know what? If you're mad about the Confederacy, well, let me tell you this. The Confederacy was more freaking squared away and better to the blacks than the Northeast is even now. The Northeast moved heavily for gun control because the blacks were fighting for civil rights in the 1960s. And after the cops were killing and beating up enough blacks, there was a couple blacks that shot some cops, even though it wasn't all the blacks that did it. But once a couple cops got shot, then the powers that be moved to have Arthur Sill, with the Attorney General in New Jersey, moved for the Sill gun control law of 1966. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, man. I mean, sometimes you get aggravated when, you know, a black person assumes something about me because I'm white. But to tell you the truth, I'm on your side, man. Big time. I am. And It's not like I'm playing civil rights leader here either. I'm just playing common sense. Everybody's got their own right to do their own thing. And, you know, I'm not into rap music or nothing like that. Actually, the black music I like actually is from the 50s. You know? Those guys, man. You know, flamingos and shit like that, right? Those guys, and all Dion and all that kind of shit. I like the music from the 50s. I'm not into current rap music. It doesn't mean I'm like anti-black or something. I'm old school black, maybe. That's, you know, old school shit is cool, you know? And, anyway, that's it. O'Reilly's a libtard. And, you know, stick with the Confederacy because it's righteous. Confederacy's about independence, states' rights, and the hell with all the bullshit, right? We don't need D.C. They're garbage. You know, Obama land and Hill the Beast and all other crap. And, you know, when Trump, imagine if he gets in, he turns out to be a pile of shit. Maybe it's going to be. I don't know. I don't really trust it, okay? I'm just figuring, you know, Hill the Beast is going to be a lot worse. That's why I'm supporting Trump. And I don't like Ted Cruz, man. It turned out to be a pile of crap. Okay? I mean, I don't trust these politicians. God, who the hell needs them? What do we need a politician for anyway? Right? What the hell do they do? I'm here to save you. Really? Well, if you're here to save me, instead of me paying taxes to pay your salary, how about you just pay me money? And you work for me. How's that? You'll save me. Right, Mr. Politician? Over and out.